Phenomenal turn run for the BJP across the three states, that is Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chattisgarh, and of course huge strides or growth especially in vote share and also in seats in Telangana. What does this mean for 2024? Modi ki guarantee. This Modi ki guarantee aspect, is this now going to be the opposition's nemesis in the run-up to Lok Sabha 2024? Because for the opposition, the bloc that cobbled itself up together of 26 parties calling themselves the INDI Alliance, well, these state elections were something where they should have worked together, but they haven't. And does the Congress now find its footprint or its task all the more tougher because the head-to-head against the BJP, the number of seats has only expanded, which is advantage BJP as per the pundits and as far the numbers are concerned. So let's try and signpost this. The tone set for the 2024 Mahayudh, is it really a Mahayudh, and does PM Narendra Modi really stand tall over everybody else, including Rahul Gandhi? 7 out of 10 Hindi belt states, the BJP is in power. And these Hindi belt states account for nearly 225 to 230 Lok Sabha seats, ladies and gentlemen. The BJP has won big even in the tribal seats. 56 out of the 101 tribal seats have gone to the BJP in the three states. So any talk about the tribal vote shifting, the backward caste vote shifting, all of that seems to be negated. The BJP winning 109 out of 174 OBC seats in Madhya Pradesh and in Rajasthan. Big win. Nari Shakti powering the wave, the saffron wave, especially in Madhya Pradesh with a phenomenal turnout. The local scheme of Ladni Behna yielding rich dividends, and of course along with the central schemes of Ujjwala, Jan Dhan, all of that, and Garib Kalyan, PM Garib Kalyan. All of this has worked to its advantage. Even the caste census card seems to be rejected. Jiski jitni sankhya bhari, that is not resonating on ground. Not that the BJP is against caste census, but the motive with which the opposition, the Congress, which in the past has opposed the caste census from the times of Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi, now at the time of Rahul Gandhi, getting on board or onboarding this concept because of the conviction of a Nitish Kumar, who's in his own political currency is on the wane. And to borrow that concept, is it actually yielding result, is a big question. INDI Alliance, the future is in jeopardy because right now the Trinamool Congress seems to be skipping that meeting on the 6th of December. Other allies have realized that the Congress's gain in Telangana was at the cost of a regional party. So should they really ally? Should they really work? And the arrogance, the ahem, soon after the Karnataka victory and the success in Himachal has not gone down well with the opposition parties, who thought that this semi-final was the time to test team strength. And you said, nah, we are confident of doing it alone. We'll win Chhattisgarh, retain Chhattisgarh, we'll retain Rajasthan and we'll rest Madhya Pradesh. That was a tone adopted by the Congress party, and look what's happened. And everybody is needling them amongst the opposition parties. Is there no challenger for Prime Minister Narendra Modi going forward? Is he still standing tall, far higher, not just in public approval, but also in political stature compared to any of the leaders on the opposition? It's not about there is no alternative. It's about, do they really look for an alternative? Does the voter really want an alternative? That seems to be the question at this point. When we look at the story of 2024, is he on the roll? Is he set for a hat-trick, a repeat of PM Narendra Modi? That's what echoed in Parliament. And somewhere, that's what Prime Minister Narendra Modi also indicated.
अगर मैं वर्तमान चुनाव नतीजों के आधार पर कहूं, तो जो विपक्ष में बैठे हुए साथी हैं, ये उनके लिए गोल्डन अपॉर्चुनिटी है। इस सत्र में पराजय का गुस्सा निकालने की योजना बनाने के बजाय इस पराजय में से सीख करके पिछले 9 साल से चलाई गई नकारात्मकता की प्रवृत्ति को छोड़ करके इस सत्र में अगर सकारात्मकता के साथ आगे बढ़ेंगे तो देश उनके तरफ देखने का दृष्टिकोण बदलेगा। और वो विपक्ष में है तो भी उनको एक अच्छी एडवाइस दे रहा हूं कि आइए, सकारात्मक विचार लेकर के आइए। अगर हम 10 कदम चलते तो आप 12 कदम का फैसला लेकर के आइए। आज मैं राजनीतिक दृष्टिकोण से भी कहना चाहता हूं कि आपका भी भला इसमें है कि आप देश को सकारात्मकता का संदेश के आपकी छवि नफरत की और नकारात्मकता की बने, वो लोकतंत्र के लिए अच्छा नहीं है। हर किसी का भविष्य उज्जवल है, निराश होने की जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन कृपा करके बाहर के पराजय का गुस्सा सदन में मत उतारना। हताशा निराशा होगी, आपके साथियों को आपका दम दिखाने के लिए कुछ न कुछ करना भी पड़ेगा, लेकिन कम से कम लोकतंत्र के इस मंदिर को वो मंच मत बनाइए। और अभी भी मैं कहता हूं, मैं मेरे लंबे अनुभव के आधार पर कहता हूं कि थोड़ा सा अपना रुख बदलिए, विरोध के विरोध का तरीका छोड़िए, देश हित में सकारात्मक चीजों का साथ दीजिए, अच्छी उसमें जो कमियां हो उसकी डिबेट कीजिए। आप देखिए देश के मन में आज जो ऐसी कुछ बातों पर नफरत पैदा हो रही है, हो सकता है वो मोहब्बत में बदल जाए।
So the Prime Minister advising the opposition, correct your tone, correct your route, amend yourself, whatever is in Rashtra Hit, Desh Hit, don't oppose this, don't oppose for the sake of opposing, and don't make Parliament your platform for disruption or to vent your anger and frustration out the route that's happened. Well, some saintly advice coming from the Prime Minister, but also a certain amount of, listen, you thought my magic was on the wane? That's not happening. You got to course correct. That kind of messaging also coming from the Prime Minister. Let's try and understand why this is happening. Let's track the entire saffron footprint of the BJP and how it's grown since May 2014 when Prime Minister Narendra Modi came to power or led the BJP and the NDA into power and became the Prime Minister of Bharat. Let's look at this. And if we look at the numbers, this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, in the battle for the states. Let's try and track this. And we track this regularly on the Bharat map. Now, on the map, you would see that there were 7 NDA-ruled states, and that's why we've colored those states as saffron in 2014. But if you look at it carefully, as we come closer to 2023, post these elections on the 3rd of December results, the spread is now to 18 NDA-ruled states as of December 2023. 18. Mizoram has had a new government. They've said we're going to stay clear, we're going to work with the centre, but we don't want to ally either with the NDA, NEDA or even with the INDIA bloc. But despite that, this 18 NDA-ruled states that we now have the saffron footprint. So it's only grown, it's not shrunk. It shrunk in between in 2017, 2018, but then it's grown back by 2023. That's the difference. Now let's also consider another aspect. The important part is, where does this take or set the BJP up? Now, in the Hindi heartland, they have 7 out of the 10 Hindi heartland states. They are sitting pretty already on 170 out of 225 seats if you look at the seat to conversion ratio and the percentage that they occupied. Now, let's try and understand this arithmetic. There are 4,123 Vidhan Sabha seats pan-India, where the BJP is currently in power, or the MLAs that are, and the BJP MLAs are in 1,346 out of these 4,123 assembly constituencies. That's a 33% occupancy in 2018. That translated to a 56% conversion out of 543 seats to 303 for the BJP. Currently now, they are in 36%. So they have increased their presence in the Vidhan Sabha constituencies from 1346 to 1482 out of the 4,123. What does that now imply? Should we consider a ballpark 4% jump? That means 60% out of 543. That means the BJP is setting itself up to be on course to claim 325 seats in the Lok Sabha, ladies and gentlemen. Does this make the task for the opposition only difficult? Is the hat-trick in 2023, a clean sweep in 2024, only guaranteed?
Hello, Moto.
We're clearly talking numbers and projections. Mood on ground and PM Modi directly on the ticket is another different factor. Shehzad Poonawalla, national spokesperson of the BJP with us. Sanjay Jha, political analyst with us. Abhishek Banerjee, author and columnist. Sanjeev Srivastava, senior journalist. And Advait Akala, author. All with us this evening. Namaste and Jai Hind to everybody. Good to have you all. Thank you very, very much. There are various aspects of the conversation and we'll dive into all of these aspects. But pure play on numbers. And Sanjay Jha, I would like to start with you, and you would understand where I'm coming from when we look at these numbers. When there is a seat to conversion ability and electoral machinery and the momentum that is built in favor of the BJP, don't you think the task has only become harder for the opposition to make inroads? They are sitting with an advantage and staring themselves, at a course of 325. From here, it is the BJP's, task to undo themselves. But you see the kind of advantage they have right now against the opposition. And doesn't that make the job of the alliance only tougher?
Anand, I couldn't disagree with you at all. There is absolutely no denying that following the results that were declared yesterday, the BJP has every reason to believe that it is not just right ahead at the moment in pole position, but it is probably in a position to even convert that into a huge electoral windfall. Having said that, I will not conflate the assembly election results with the Lok Sabha elections. And I think, all the other panelists will probably agree with me, not just looking at 2018 where the Congress won all these state elections and the Lok Sabha elections were a complete different proposition altogether. It's happened even in 2004. And I think we all know that the Narendra Modi factor will be also a crucial advantage for the BJP going forward. However, a word of caution here, that end of the day, the issues that the India Alliance believes are fundamental to the India's democracy or India's future, which is probably the joblessness, the distress for the rural sector, the farmer woes, the troubles for the MSME sector, the issue of Adani, authoritarian leadership. All these factors haven't gone. The rising communal temperature hasn't really receded. So I think the fundamental issues that we have contested the Modi government on remain unchanged. In fact, I believe that with this win, I expect the BJP's hubris to rise. And probably, at the end of the day, the next couple of months, you will find manifestations of that arrogance. I think the one point that I would like to maintain, and I've been in touch with many of the leaders of the opposition, this might actually also work the other way, which is that the India Alliance actually gets its act together and goes out and really campaigns passionately and vigorously across the country. And I'm telling you, while seat sharing may not really happen in terms of, everyone having just one candidate, there may be some overlaps here and there. And we are not going to deny that there are certain practical challenges, because at the ground level, we have also been each other's opponents, particularly the Congress. Having put all these facts on the table, let me tell you this. I have a great respect for the Indian voter. I do believe that the Indian voter is smart and intelligent. I'm not getting into the dynamics here of why BJP won 3 and Congress should celebrate Telangana. Yes, BJP must celebrate the 3 states and the Congress should feel proud of having won Telangana. But I believe the Indian dynamic is extremely complex and complicated. And if the India team gets its act together, if the Congress party demonstrates, Anand, and I'll wrap up here, if the Congress party demonstrates a larger spirit of accommodation, I will still put my neck out and say 2024 is up in the air, but advantage to the BJP as of today.
Right. You've made some points. There will be differing views on this, and we'll try and steer clear of just rhetoric and just stay with what the facts are and why in some places your arguments fails to find merit or purchase, Sanjay Jha. There's a case that we'd like to make here before we bring in our other guests. But let me just bring in Abhishek Banerjee and then ask him, Abhishek, would you agree, disagree with Sanjay Jha? And then we'll talk about the Congress factors and whether truly the Congress can claim what Sanjay Jha is currently saying. Yes, Abhishek.
Yeah, Anand, so I would actually partially agree with one of the points of Sanjay Jha, but I will first make some general remarks for the Congress, and not just the Congress, the entire Congress ecosystem. First thing is, stop insulting the Prime Minister, calling him Panauti, Modi and all, because he's much more popular than you are. Insulting him is just going to make people angry. Number two, stop insulting BJP voters, calling them illiterate, backward, regressive, WhatsApp university. This is not working. Number 3, try to remove your anti-Hindu image. Try to put some distance between the Congress and people who say that, Sanatan Dharma is dengue and malaria. Number 4, please stand, or at least seem to be standing 100% with the country. Because we saw some random allegations being made by Canada and US in recent months. And I did not feel that the liberal ecosystem was backing the country 100%. Now, to the part that I said that, I would partially agree with Sanjay Jha. What would I say to the BJP and its ecosystem? Is that despite this big victory, please be humble, very, very humble. Because after 10 years, there's bound to be anti-incumbency. And right now, and in this round of elections, I feel that humility was the superpower of the BJP. The Congress got carried away. They were listening far too much to random, frustrated YouTubers. I'll take their names. Ravish Kumar, Ajit Anjum, Pragya Mishra, and all these nonsensical characters. The Congress and the liberal ecosystem were listening way too much to these frustrated people, and they thought that their anger and the interactions they were getting by saying random stuff about the Prime Minister is the public mood. And that is one of the reasons that made the Congress really underperform in these elections.
Well, as peers or my colleagues or somewhere with part of the journalistic fraternity, I would not, underline any of these personal comments that you have made against some of these people. Whether I agree with them, disagree with them is aside. That's as a principled position. One would not want to take any jibes at anybody from the journalistic fraternity. But Abhishek Banerjee, your point well noted, and that's your point of view. That's the only thing that I'd like to qualify before bringing in Shehzad Poonawala on the aspect of the BJP fought this election with humility, and a lot of the netas, the big guns who had moved to the center when they were dropped and asked to contest assembly elections or Vidhan Sabha at the ground level, perhaps it was a lesson internally also that came from the top brass in humility. And that's somewhere responsible for the success that you're currently, bathing in. Shehzad, can you hear me?
Is that my question?
Yes, Shehzad.
Yes, I can. I thought you said before you come to me. Okay. First of all, Anand, because your show is much watched entirely across the country, but particularly in the southern parts of the country, let me use your platform to tell all our Karyakartas of the BJP, like President Nadda has instructed us and the Prime Minister has instructed us, all of us must stop all our political activities and help those who are in need in Cyclone Mijong, and we must go and help the administration there. So I want to use your platform thoroughly to reach out to all the Karyakartas of the BJP, particularly in the south and the eastern coast, particularly to the people of Tamil Nadu and to the people of Andhra Pradesh. Thank you for letting me use your platform. Now, look, Anand, what is the verdict about? The verdict is about the following, that there is something called the Modi ki guarantee, and that Modi ki guarantee is basically Sarkar ki delivery, not dialogue delivery. It is Sushasan ki niti, where a government that has performed for 18 years gets another term to perform because there is pro-incumbency. For the first time in the lexicon of political history, we are using the term pro-incumbency, not anti-incumbency. We've seen anti-incumbency to the extent that governments of Congress haven't been voted back to power from 2011 onwards. Look at what's happened in Rajasthan and Chattisgarh. 5 years done, dusted, gaya. Thirdly, there is Sangathan ki Mazbuti, and fourthly, there is Yuva and Mahila Shakti. For us, these are the most pious things, and this is what the verdict reflects. And like you have analyzed, in all the areas with all the cards that the Congress played, they tried to divide us on the OBC lines. The OBC areas have voted for the BJP. They have always tried to divide us on language and religion lines. Now they are trying to divide us on north and south. But at least I am glad about one thing. In the last 24 hours, the same Sanjay Jha, who's going viral on social media, it's a new feat for him, the same Sanjay Jha who said that this was a blow for democracy is now coming out and trying to be sanctimonious and is saying all these kinds of statements that no, they have won the elections, I'm very glad, this and that and the other. I agree with Abhishek Banerjee completely. Stop putting, 1 second, you'll get an opportunity to respond. Stop calling the voters of the BJP, the people of India, sometimes as Rakshas, sometimes putting them into this basket of deplorables category like Hillary Clinton did. You say that the North Indian voters have no brains. You said that after Amethi. You said that after Channi made a snide comment at North Indian voters. Now your Karti Chidambaram, Mr. Praveen Chakravarti continue to make this North-South divide. Stop stop dividing this country and stop the politics of negativism. Anand, just give me 10 more seconds.
Ji.
You know, the extent of Congress's negativism is that when UPI was launched and Prime Minister said that I want everyone to go for this digital payment, Chidambaram opposed it. Today, look at the state of UPI. The time when Prime Minister Modi hugged the ISRO chairperson so that he could get the confidence, they opposed that too. They made fun of it. When the Prime Minister boosts up the confidence of the Indian cricket team, they call him Panoti. When the Prime Minister says, I will name the point where Chandrayaan 3 landed as Shiv Shakti point, they have so much hate for Sanatan and Hindu Dharma that they say, why are you naming it Shiv Shakti point? You should have named it Jawahar point or something of that sort, maybe Sonia point. This kind of negativism, this kind of corruption and anti-incumbency that is driven in your states, this kind of negativity that you have, you must now start casting it away and perhaps start a new political vocabulary.
See, sir, the lesson in humility goes all around. Arrogance is something which no political party can afford to have because the voter will punish them badly. Be it the BRS, be it the Congress or be it the BJP, everybody has learned this lesson. The BJP was taught this lesson in Karnataka, that you have to work together, you can't have egos and you can't take the voter for granted. The same lesson has been taught to the Congress party in Madhya Pradesh and in Rajasthan and in Chattisgarh. The same lesson has also been taught to the BRS in Telangana. But one of the arguments that Sanjay Jha, you'd want to rebut Shehzad, I know Sanjeev and Advait have not yet spoken. Just one, this north-south argument and this whole thing about belief in the Congress's promises, that argument is a little specious, sir. Why? Because I'm just making this one. The Congress guarantee in Himachal Pradesh already just in 1 year, there is a huge sense of anti-incumbency, and in Himachal, because wherever the Congress has succeeded so far is because it's the only alternative. So Himachal Pradesh, two-way fight, there was anti-incumbency and that helped the Congress party win. But in 1 year now, today the claims are if you have election today, the Congress will lose. In Telangana, again, the anti-incumbency, it was against the BRS which helped the Congress rise, and also the diffusion within the BJP. Then they changed their state BJP president and there was a huge amount of issues within the BJP. The Congress cashed in on it. It's not their guarantees. Karnataka, again, it was anti-incumbency and the fight as far as the disrespect to the Lingayat community, which was the core vote bank of the BJP, that pillar was shaken. That was also something which was a huge factor. Rajasthan, if it was indeed the Congress's policies and its promises, then why did Rajasthan not vote in Ashok Gehlot? In Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel implemented all the promises and more, but they didn't and they got routed there. Bihar, the Congress remains a coalition partner and that too a very, very poor one there. Jharkhand, again a coalition partner, no control. DMK rules the roost in the and the Congress is a meek coalition partner in Tamil Nadu. It does not even have the kind of vote share that it used to command at the times of Kamraj. It's totally shrunk, and today the footprint of the BJP is far growing there than the Congress party. In Kerala, again, it is there with a 25% vote share, but along with allied partners, not with anybody, not on its own, whereas the BJP has about a 12% vote share in Kerala. In Karnataka, not much separates the Congress and the BJP. Today, the BJP actually had 2% more vote share compared to the last time around. This time in these elections, my memory serves me right. The caste card has not happened, not worked for you because it flopped in Madhya Pradesh. OBC dominated seats, 67 seats, 48 to the UP, to the BJP. BJP 48 up by 19, Congress 19 down by 15. Rajasthan OBC dominated seats, 107 seats, BJP 59 up by 19, Congress 39 down by 10. So at all platforms, if you were to see Mr. Sanjay Jha, the Congress's claims, though tall, are not backed by the numbers. So, and the reason why the India Alliance could have been tested, the strength of the India Alliance could have been tested in the semi-finals, it didn't get tested was because of the same arrogance that you're accusing the BJP of having.
Anand, a very
quick response and then Advaita and Sanjeev.
Very short answer to you. You remember that the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, talked about a Congress-Mukt Bharat when he became the Prime Minister in 2014. The Congress may have lost Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chattisgarh, two of these states that was expected to win. I believe that let's completely recognize one reality. The Congress remains the big threat to the BJP. And the Congress is not going away anywhere. I will agree with you because I know how the Congress works. The Congress is usually a victim of its own, I would call, as lethargy at times, and very often arrogance. It's a very toxic combination. Having said that, it has brilliant people. I think it's got the ideology that matches India's constitution. It has wonderful karyakartas, and I believe it has got a blueprint that India truly needs. Yes, there have been leadership decisions that have gone wrong. There are many things that the Congress could improve upon. But I can tell you one thing for a fact, that the Congress is also discovering as we talk, despite these 3 defeats, that it's getting its mojo back. And I'm telling you something, that politics has no permanent winners. It has no permanent
Totally agree.
losers. It has no and let me tell you, when it changes, the momentum can change dramatically. I'm very confident that
But there
despite
has to
these
be-
losses and despite the numbers that you have thrown, the BJP has also been at the receiving end of many a defeat, despite Mr.
Sir-
Modi being on the ticket.
Sir-
So things can change, and I'm very bullish that 2024 is still up
Sir,
in
when
the air.
PM Modi is directly on the ticket, then good governance and his trust, his guarantee comes to play, sir, and that's a
What happened
factor
in
that the
Karnataka?
opposition. No, that's a factor that
What
the
happened in
opposition.
Himachal?
Sir, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. That this time around in these 3 states, the whole diffusion was because only PM was on the ticket, and the rest of the BJP was taught a lesson in humility. Please understand. You see the big guns who went there and they were given sink or swim options. That was the only
So
option.
you're also,
no,
Anand,
sir,
so you're
like I
also
said,
agreeing that
arrogance.
the regional leaders are becoming irrelevant, which
No,
was a problem.
sir,
of the
no.
Congress.
Regional
Happening
leaders
to
are
others.
relevant, but they cannot think that they can sit
Anand.
on their haunches once they come to power. Nobody can think. That is a simple example. Sir, Venkat Ramana Reddy is a standing example. Work in your constituency for 5 full years, serve the people there and reap the rewards. Even if a sitting incumbent chief minister or perhaps the challenger comes there, they all get defeated by at least 7,000 votes. That's the story, sir. That's the story that needs to be replicated across 4,123 assembly constituencies by the Congress or by the BJP if they want to have these handsome numbers and return the numbers at all points in time. Now the BJP has somebody like PM Modi. That's an additional factor. Sanjeev Srivastava and Advaita, and then I'll come to you, Shehzad. Please yield. Thank you. Yes, Sanjeev Srivastava.
So really, everybody has spoken, and in parts I agree with bits of what everybody has said. But most of all in this panel, I agree with Abhijit Banerjee. Is that the name? If I'm
Abhishek
remembering it right?
Banerjee.
I think he was absolutely Abhishek Banerjee. I think he was bang on target. See, nothing is final in politics. We all know. But when we are analyzing and talking about a situation, we analyze and talk about it, extrapolating as if today is going to exist day after and the day after. So when things change, we'll analyze differently. So my simple answer is, as things stand today, 2024 is in BJP's pocket. It's a done deal. There is no confusion. See, when you say the opposition won in 2018 these 3 states and still the BJP came back, there was a huge difference. Because we have been always saying that Mr. Modi is a big differentiator in national elections, but doesn't cut that much ice in the state election. That argument has been turned on its head to some extent in this election. Also, the north-south divide. I think we are missing the votes for the trees. Because the Telangana election result should be a worrying sign for the Congress party.
Yes.
The BJP's vote share has gone up. When we were traveling Telangana, we met a lot of voters who were saying this time they're going to vote for Congress, but in the national election, they're going to pump for Modi. So they're getting 14% vote share now. And the only reason the BJP really did not put up a good show in Telangana, everybody knows, they were seen as a party which was not keen on taking on KCR. But that's a done and dusted story. So my limited point is that if in Chattisgarh, MP, Rajasthan, BJP has won so decisively, and these election results to me suggest that their performance in national elections, at least in Telangana and Karnataka, will be better than what the assembly results extrapolated will show. So I think 2020, see, I was very confident about a lot of things in my analysis as to how things are going to pan out post this and that. Maharashtra, PR, so crucial. But I think if Modi's thing cannot be stopped on a friendly turf, friendly pitch, like it was provided in MP, Chhattisgarh, and to some extent in Rajasthan, then there's no way it can be stopped in the national elections when people are in any case rooting for Modi above the opposition when you compare it with the Vidhan Sabha poll. So if things change in December end or January mid or end January or early February, I am entitled to revise my opinion. But today I can bet my shirt that it's 2024 is a done deal. One should now focus on 2029. It's finished. Like, with all respects and affection for Rahul Gandhi, like he says, Tata, bye-bye, gone. Ye ho gaya. 2024 election is done. And I'm not particularly happy about the outcome, but it looks like that.
See, but that's where the whole question is, Advaita Kala. These elections, did the Congress's arrogance hurt it? And does that now then compromise its position even within the alliance? Because did they say that we don't want any of your regional satraps, any of the other parties to come together in this and combine forces because ye hum khud hi jeet lenge? And was that the thought process, saying that if we then have the upper hand, then we call the shots across the 450 odd seats out of the 543? Advaita.
I couldn't agree with you more, Anand, and actually I agree with Sanjay Jha as well, because I think there is a question of arrogance, and one of his tweets today clearly mentions that. And part of the reason for that arrogance is that you will have someone like Sanjay Jha sitting on the outside and not in the party, because they cannot listen to plain speak. Today I was watching the TV channels, and the SP and Congress were fighting with each other on live TV like they were sworn enemies. And we are a couple of months away from the election, and this is supposedly the alternative to Prime Minister Modi. It's absolutely appalling. In Telangana now, there is an issue over their Congress party leader, whether he's going to be chief minister, and there are already factions forming, like there were factions in Rajasthan, in Chattisgarh, in MP. The same thing is happening in Telangana even before there is a swearing in. You have two factions forming. So I think the Congress really needs to understand that they are in serious trouble. And we say this like over and over and over again. The fact of the matter is you cannot compare the BJP and the Congress, because they're two different animals. They're two different political animals. You know, if the BJP is bringing in terms like pro-incumbency, the Congress has not won an election where it is an incumbent since 2011. It gets a shot by the voters and then it fails to be elected back. This has been happening over and over again. And then when it fails to be elected back, it blames the same voters for not electing them back. It creates this divisive narrative. I mean, it's a question of it's almost like the film The Body Snatchers. The Congress's mind has been snatched away by hardcore leftists. The kind of narratives they spew out. First it was the caste census, now it is, and giving the caste census with such a twist. जितने I don't know,
जिसकी जितनी संख्या भारी उसका उतना हक.
Exactly. I mean, this is so combative. To take something like
and on the other hand, in their Telangana manifesto, they promised 4,000 crore for Muslim benefits and a separate IT park for Muslims in a 30 acre area, which was largely in a Muslim dominated area. So these are there are two contradictions. On the one hand, you are saying we'll give the minorities more or we'll give the Muslims more, and on the other hand, you are saying that jiski jitni sankhya bari uska utna hak. How can they are two polar?
Now they're doing north and south.
And now the
north and south. And I'll tell you why the Prime Minister scores over them. And I want to say this. It is, and I said this in 2016, and I'm going to repeat it. The Prime Minister has formed a coalition of the poor. And their coalition of caste and negative narratives and fascism and this, etc., is failing because the coalition of the poor, backed by the Prime Minister's welfare policies, is voting him in every time. And that is the Modi magic. That is the Modi guarantee. It's the coalition of the poor.
No. So then this is the other argument. Shehzad has put his hand up. So Shehzad, allow me to add this also, ki aapki guarantee welfare, unki guarantee revdi.
Anand, before I come to that question, firstly, let me tell the viewers that notwithstanding Sanjeev Srivastav's confidence, and it's very rarely that he exudes such confidence in us, if we were working 70 hours a week for this election, all the BJP Karyakartas will work 140 hours a week for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections, because for us, Janta is Devta. And to reach to the Janta during the Parv of democracy is our biggest role and biggest responsibility. So we will work 140 hours. We don't consider any deal to be a done deal with the people. We will go and make sure that every voter comes out in bigger strength for Lok Sabha elections. Now, having said that, Anand, addressing your question, there's a fundamental difference between a Revdi and a welfare scheme. A welfare scheme is not something that we start at the end of the election cycle. The Ladli Behna scheme, which many media people talk about, please see the earliest avatar of that. That is Ladli Lakshmi. Mr. Shivraj Chauhan starts that scheme when he comes to power. Then he takes it to Mukhyamantri Kanyadan. Then he gives the reservation at the lowest levels and the highest levels to the women at 50%. We have Mahila Thanas for women. Then we ensure that the sex ratio of the women goes up. We have given Bachat Patra to women. We have done lower registration taxes for women for ensuring that the property is in their houses. Prime Minister Modi comes to the center. He starts Ujjwala Yojana, Mudra Yojana, Jan Dhan Yojana, Shauchalaya Yojana. Every Yojana has women at the center. We give permanent commission to armed forces to women. We ensure that women then do Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam through the reservation of women. So it is an entire cycle of things. We have not started one scheme at the end of the election cycle to ensure that we give a lollipop and we take the votes. This is our commitment to the women. We respect Nari Shakti. Having said that, let me take another point. Look, Aman Sharma, your colleague, has filed a great story on Madhya Pradesh. Why did we win Madhya Pradesh the way we won? 79 seats were there in 2018, where the BJP won only 8 out of those 79 tough seats.
Yes.
And this time we started much before. Nadda ji, Amit Shah ji, all our party leaders decided we will send our best soldiers there. And from the 79 seats that we had not done well in, we won 49 seats. Because for us, this is our seva. Secondly, arrogance का एक important हिस्सा होता है delusion. Look at Sanjay Jha and the Congress ecosystem even today. The same narrative. हमारा idea of India is the constitution idea of India. भाई भाजपा का idea of India is not the idea of India then. Your idea of India is to promise Muslims reservation. Your idea of India is to make IT parks for Muslims. Your idea of India is to abuse Hindus and Sanatan and to not even apologize for it and then wear the Janyu conveniently and say I'm a Janyudhari Hindu. Is this your idea of India? This is what aggravates me, that the Congress ecosystem continues to even be in delusion, and delusion is the first step of arrogance.
I'll tell you what, Congress was the nationalist party which espoused Hindu nationalism under Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru till 1940. When Jinnah started talking partition, that's when Hindu nationalism from the Congress party itself went away. And then soon after independence and thereafter, the constitution was envisaged with a certain nationalism and a certain point in mind. Today, the Congress party, where it stands, Sanjay Jha, the argument is it's a total opposite. Exactly
Can
the
I just add one line,
other end
Anand, just
of
one
what
line,
it was when Bharat got its freedom. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Anand,
Sanjay Jha, just one line, exactly
Just one
5
line.
seconds to Shehzad and then to you, sir. Yeah.
Anand, today's results of Mizoram, do you know Mizoram, for the first time in the independence history of independent India, the BJP has overtaken the Congress in Mizoram. We have won a seat where there is 98% Christian population. We are on 2 seats. Congress
so
is now reduced to just 1.
Correct.
Almost eradicated from Mizoram.
Yeah.
After all their Rahul Gandhi staying there and their entire propaganda on Manipur.
Correct. But the person who's actually come to power there is somebody who says, I want to be equidistant from the BJP
That's
or the
fine.
Congress.
That's
he
fine.
was
We are a
somebody
weak party there.
He's led by
We are weak
somebody.
there.
He's led
We are
by,
weak there.
and the party is led by somebody who guarded Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, the former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. But yes, the Congress will claim we have a greater
That's
vote share than
fine.
the
One day
BJP.
BJP
BJP
will
will claim we've got
there
more
also.
seats than the Congress. But yes, Sanjay Jha, final 90 seconds on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, Anand, since Shehzad mentioned Mizoram, let me tell him that your NDA alliance partner and the former Chief Minister of Mizoram, because he's now going to resign as the Chief Minister, did not want the Prime Minister Narendra Modi to come to Mizoram and stand with him on the same platform.
You
That
be
is a
happy in
severe
that only.
indictment. I didn't
You be
interrupt
happy
you.
in
I
that.
didn't interrupt you.
Okay.
And that is a severe indictment.
You
of
be
the
happy in
politics
that.
of-
Don't see where
And
Rahul
I
went and
speak
spent
without
days and got 1
interrupting.
Okay,
seat.
Shehzad,
Anand,
let's
can
not
we
heckle,
maintain
please.
certain
We've
clarity
done
here?
we've done 36.
Don't
We've
be
done
so angry.
34.
Yeah,
We've done
hang on,
34
hang on,
minutes
hang on.
of sane
Okay,
debate.
Purpose.
This one, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, Shehzad.
So yeah.
Please come
So
down.
end of
Yes,
day, that's
yes,
the
yes,
message
Sanjay Jha.
of the of the vicious divisive politics that you played in Manipur, where the Prime Minister, even after 7 months, has not made an appearance. But anyway, Anna, let me answer the bigger question that you mentioned here. I think the point that cannot be altered is that India at the ground level has serious problems. 1% of Indians own 40% of its wealth. And in the last 4 years, if you look at India's GDP, it's less than 4%. So, much talk about growth and equity. End of day, I would also like to take it forward here.
Sir, India registered a 7.6%
Sir, we've got a population of 1.4 billion. To get that GDP up, per capita up, is going to take some time. The other thing is that a lot of us, part of this panel, are also part of that 1%, including yourself, Sanjay Jha. So we also need to do little more about wealth creation and wealth distribution. Yes, Abhishek Banerjee, sir, I have to wind up, but Abhishek, he's been patiently waiting. He's hardly spoken for 40 seconds on the show. Yes. Abhishek.
Yeah, I just want to contradict one point that Sanjay Jha keeps repeating about this GDP, because one thing that should be noted is that during the UPA years, he should inform the viewers that India's GDP growth was the lowest among all the BRIC countries. And now you can go and see, we were overtaken by Brazil and Russia during the UPA era. They used to be behind us. Their GDP overtook us by 2014. Go and check it, Sanjay Jha. In fact, our per capita GDP growth, in both GDP growth and per capita GDP growth, we were the last among all the BRIC countries. Please check it, Sanjay Jha. It's just a fact.
You're lying. You're lying.
Yeah, Sanjeev. Yes, Sanjeev. Yeah, Sanjeev, final 30 seconds to you, Sanjeev. So at least I have given everybody a minute with some getting more.
Lying.
Yeah, yes, Sanjeev.
No, Sanjay, you just wrong.
I just want to say,
you're just wrong.
Just because I said something which is not kind of expected from me, doesn't mean that it should not even be acknowledged. Why should our debates be so like prejudging analysts or panelists? That was my limited point.
No, you make a fair point, sir. There is nobody judging anybody. Everybody is welcome to their viewpoint. And here on the right stand, we only encourage everybody to take the right stand as far as their point of view is concerned. And we listen to everyone. Nobody ever told what position
to take. You understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, sure. And I think Shehzad is also smiling and is acknowledging that. Always a pleasure to speak with all of you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you. We're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we're in conversation with the giant killer from Kamareddy, who's now set his eyes for Lok Sabha 2024 and wants to get the BJP 10 out of the 17 Lok Sabha seats, at least 10 in Telangana. Stay with us. Venkata Ramana Reddy on the right stand when we are back.
Hello, Moto.
To ensure that if the rains continue for the next 24 hours, then their cars will get damaged, which is why you can see a lot of residents here staying indoors because they feel that it is necessary to stay safe. But this entire stretch remains inundated. Remember, the strong winds range between 35 and 85 km/h, and you can see the umbrellas also not remaining intact. In fact, this has been the scene since 7 a.m. today. Strong winds, which is why many trees have fallen, but the corporation officials will take at least 2 more days to clear the area, to clear the water, to clear the trees that have fallen, only because the rains continue. There was some respite for a brief period, but once again it has started to rain, which is why you can see most of them staying indoors, and all the shops situated in all these low-lying areas continue to remain shut and will be shut if the rains continue to lash the city. Well, because most of the streets, most of the main roads are inundated, they've decided to cut off power to ensure that no untoward incident takes place, because every time an area is waterlogged, there are electric wires everywhere, which is why the power supply has been cut off for most part of the city to ensure that no untoward incident takes place, because every area in Chennai is inundated. The city has come to a standstill, and and power supply will only make it difficult for commuters, which is why the officials have already in advance yesterday said that people should have backup power to ensure that they remain safe and they don't step out unnecessarily. Yesterday there were many messages given by the state government saying that the power will not be there tomorrow if the city witnesses heavy to very heavy rains, and they've asked people to ensure that they have charged their batteries and everything in advance so that people don't have to suffer. This was the advisory that was given by the Tamil Nadu government. However, today, as the rains continue to lash the city, residents, most of them continue to remain indoors, and most of the places continue to remain shut today. As you can see, this is one of the low-lying areas in Virugambakam where the drain water is also mixed with the rain water and making it difficult for people to commute.
He's being hailed as the giant killer because of that prestigious seat of Kamareddy. He not only beat the incumbent Chief Minister KCR, but also the challenger Revant Reddy. Joining us now is K. Venkataramana Reddy Garu. Namaskara. Thank you very, very much, sir. And Congratulations on a phenomenal victory. As you look back at that fight, what are your thoughts? Has it sunk in, Mr. Ramana Reddy?
जी आई एम वेरी मच हैप्पी इसमें इन लोग दोनों आके यहाँ पे कामारेड्डी में ठहरे हुए उन लोग आके कोशिश करे जीतने के लिए लेकिन जीत नहीं पाया हम जीत गया हम 5 साल से यहाँ पे आम जनता से मिला करते हैं सबसे मिल के काम करे उन लोगों का प्रॉब्लम जो भी है हम सॉल्व करते जा रहे हैं ऐसा ऐसा सब हर फैमिली एक ट्रीट एज ए फैमिली मेंबर जैसा एक बड़े भाई जैसा सोच लिया फिर इन लोगों से हम मिलके काम करें ये फैमिली मेंबर जैसा हूँ बोल के उन लोग मेरे पे विश्वास रखा था अभी इन लोग आने के बाद थोड़ा टाइट हुआ लेकिन अगर इन दोनों आए तो मैं 40-50 हजार से आसानी से जीतता था
अभी आप 6,000 से ज़्यादा वोटों से जीते हैं ऐसा बताया जा रहा है अनुमान है आप कह रहे हैं 50,000 से जीते अगर केसीआर और रेवंत रेड्डी दोनों नहीं आते पर आप पहले कांग्रेस में थे फिर बीआरएस में अब पिछले 5 साल से आप बीजेपी में हैं
बीआरएस में नहीं है गलत बात है ये मैं कांग्रेस में है कांग्रेस से फिर बीजेपी को आया था बीआरएस में कभी नहीं गया ये पार्टी में जॉइन भी नहीं हुआ उससे कोई संबंध भी नहीं है
अब बीजेपी में आपको क्या लग रहा है कि अब की बार क्या बीजेपी का परफॉर्मेंस ठीक था या इससे और अच्छा हो सकता था तेलंगाना में सर
बीजेपी का परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा है लेकिन हम हासिल नहीं करे सीटा ज्यादा नहीं आए बोल के आप ये बात पूछ रहा हूँ लेकिन जो भी हार्डकोर जो भी सीट हार गए सो नैरो मार्जिन में हार गए अरविंद साहब ने बंडी संजय साहब ने ईटेलर राजेंद्र जी ने ये ऐसा स्टार वर्ड्स जो भी है ये थोड़ा नैरो मार्जिन में हार गया इसका वेरिएशन ऑफ रीजंस है डिफरेंट रीजंस है हर अब 8 लोग जीते लोग 5 साल से वही काम करते गए जैसा भी जीतना कैसा भी जीतना जीत के आना बोल के काम करे हम भी 8 में 1 है हम भी वैसा ही सोच के 2018 में मेरे को 15,500-900 कुछ आया 16,000 के अंदर ही है डिपॉजिट 100 के तकरीबन 100 कम आया डिपॉजिट में नहीं है लेकिन उस दिन 2018 में मैं सोचा 2023 दिसंबर में जो इलेक्शन रहे थे वो इलेक्शन में 100% एमएलए बनना कैसा करना बोल के सोच के एक दिन भी बाहर नहीं गया मैं 24/7 कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में पब्लिक के साथ में एक्सेप्ट पार्टी मीटिंग्स जो भी है वो 6-7 टाइम गया मैं हैदराबाद पार्टी मीटिंग्स इसका शिवा मैं किधर भी नहीं आया दिल्ली भी नहीं आया किधर भी नहीं गया बगल का कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में क्या हो रहा बोल के भी नहीं सोचा मेरा गोल एक ही है जीतना जो 2 साल के पहले कार्यकर्ता का पार्टी कैडर का मीटिंग पे मैं बोला था
जी
ये भगवान के आशीष है कि क्या है कि उस दिन बात में जो भी है मुख्यमंत्री आके केसीआर साहब आके यहाँ टीआरएस से लड़ने दो अगर वर्किंग प्रेसिडेंट रेवंत रेड्डी आके यहाँ कांग्रेस से लड़ने दो बीजेपी जीतना बोल के मैं बोला मेरा वीडियो भेजता हूँ आपको होना बोले तो ये सही है उस दिन बोला था ऐसा काम करना हमारा को कॉम्पिटिटर शब्बीर अली नहीं है कांग्रेस से हमारा को कॉम्पिटिटर गंपा गोवर्धन जी नहीं है बीआरएस से लेकिन हमारा कॉम्पिटिटर केसीआर साहब रेवंत रेड्डी साहब रहे तो भी बीजेपी जीतना अगर हम नहीं है तो भी बीजेपी जीतना हम कैंडिडेट बीजेपी से नहीं है तो भी बीजेपी जीतना ऐसा काम करेंगे बोल के ऐसा करा 3 डिसीजन लिया एक कैडर स्ट्रेंथ दूसरा एंटी एजिटेशन ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एंटी गवर्नमेंट एजिटेशन एंड तीसरा वोट पोलराइजेशन ये 3 स्टेप में काम करते गया अभी जीतना में हासिल होगा जीत लिया हासिल कर दिया कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन
इसीलिए तो आपको जायंट किलर कह रहे हैं आपने फोकस के साथ काम किया मेहनत से काम किया बट रमना रेड्डी जी मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगा कि लोकसभा 2024 के लिए आप क्या आउटलुक देखते हैं बीजेपी के लिए और 24 में फाइट किसके साथ होगा बीआरएस के साथ होगा या कांग्रेस के साथ होगा
कांग्रेस के साथ ही होता बीआरएस के साथ नहीं होता कांग्रेस के साथ ही होता मेरा ख्याल से 10 सीट जीत लेते हम 10 सीट के ऊपर ही कम तो नहीं आते It's a border is 10 out of 17 parliaments.
इतना कॉन्फिडेंस है कि अब की बार सिर्फ 8 सीट जीते हैं, लेकिन आपको लगता है 10 लोकसभा सीट आप तेलंगाना में जीत सकते हैं?
हाँ वही है, लोकल एमएलए को अलग देखते हैं, मोदी जी को अलग देखते हैं यार, यही प्रॉब्लम है। एमपी को देखे तो मोदी जी को देख के वोट डालते, या एमएलए को हमारा को देख के डालना पड़ता। वही प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है यहाँ पे, ये एक मुश्किल है। लेकिन अभी ये 6.9% वोट्स था 2018 में, अभी 14% हुआ। ये 6 महीने हम 8 एमएलए रूरल का जीत गए अभी। आदिलाबाद में 4, कामा निजामाबाद में, कंबाइंड निजामाबाद में 3, कंबाइंड आदिलाबाद में 4 जीते। ये 7, एक राजा सिंह साहब हैदराबाद गोशामा, अभी 8 हुआ। ये 8 आदमी मिलके पूरा ये आदिलाबाद कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी, आदिलाबाद पार्लियामेंट, निजामाबाद पार्लियामेंट और जैराबाद पार्लियामेंट, ऐसा हमारा बीच में 4 पार्लियामेंट है।
जी,
ये 4 बराबर जीतेंगे।
अच्छा,
और बंडी संजय जी का करीमनगर है, वो भी जीत सकते हैं। किशन रेड्डी साहब का है हैदराबाद, वो भी जीत सकते हैं। और हमारा वरंगल में भी चांसेस है। ऐसा 10 तो आएगा 100%। इट्स अ चैलेंज। मैं, आप मेरा बात को याद रख लीजिए। आफ्टर 4-5-6 months, 5 to 6 months आफ्टर विल डिस्कस एवरीथिंग। ये याद रख लीजिए, मैं जो बात बोला वो सही होता।
जी, अच्छा, मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगा, क्या तेलंगाना में थोड़ा बीजेपी का ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में भी थोड़ा सा आपको लगता है थोड़ा चेंज होना चाहिए? क्या बंडी संजय जी को वापस लाना चाहिए, या उनके जाने से क्या थोड़ा सा नुकसान हुआ? जी किशन रेड्डी बहुत काबिल हैं, बहुत एबल हैं, लेकिन फिर भी बंडी संजय जी एक माहौल बना रहे थे, उससे कुछ फर्क पड़ा?
अभी इलेक्शन ये नेशनल पार्टी का डिसीजन है, सब पार्टी आदेशानुसार से हम करना। पार्टी इज द पार्टी विद डिफरेंट बोल के सबको मालूम है। ये हर पार्टी में सो जैसा नहीं रहते यहाँ पे। सबका समावेश होने के बाद सबका डिसीजन एक जगह में लेके आकर डिसीजन लेते
जी।
एक आदमी का डिसीजन नहीं चलता है
जी।
अभी पार्टी का क्या है वो डिसीजन ले लिया, हम लोग मान लिया। फिर किशन रेड्डी साहब आ गया, लेकिन 6 महीने के अंदर, इलेक्शन के 6 महीने पहले ये पूरा कंफ्यूजन होके ये बीच में कांग्रेस पिकअप हुआ। आप देख लीजिए
जी,
ये बीच में कांग्रेस पिकअप हुआ, लेकिन इससे पहले पिकअप नहीं हुआ।
तो ये कंफ्यूजन अवॉइड कर सकते थे। लेकिन क्या मोदी जी पॉपुलर हैं तेलंगाना में? सर, मैं जानना चाहता हूँ।
मोदी जी पॉपुलर है,
तो आपको लगता है कि वो एक फैक्टर आपके बहुत काम आएगा लोकसभा 2024 में बीजेपी के तेलंगाना में? क्योंकि ये तेलंगाना स्टेट बहुत क्रिटिकल है। अगर बीजेपी 300 पार करना चाहता है आपकी बार, 320 का अगर लक्ष्य है तो
101% मोदी जी का इन्फ्लुएंस यहाँ पे है। मोदी जी के लिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना सर, 2018 में मेरे को ऐसा डिपॉजिट नहीं आया
जी।
वही 2019 में 35,000 वोट आया एमपी को। हम भी काम नहीं करे, खाली ऊपर फिर के आया। कैंडिडेट की वजह से ऊपर फिर के आया
जी।
लेकिन 35,000 आया। 15,000 का है, 35,000 का है
जी।
वही मोदी जी का फ्लेवर है, वो मोदी जी का भरोसा है जी। मोदी जी 2018 में ऐसा है, अभी 2024 में 2019 में ऐसा है, 2024 में कैसा रहता है आप ही इमेजिनेशन कर लीजिए। 35,000 जगह में 60-70, अभी मेरे को 66,000 आया। मोर देन वी गेट 80,000 90,000 वोट्स इन पार्लियामेंट। हाफ ऑफ द वोट्स विल गेट इट,
यू विल गेट
इट हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में।
तो कहीं ना कहीं 51% वोट शेयर, 51% वोट शेयर जो टारगेट बीजेपी का सेंट्रली रहा है, वो आपको लगता है आप तेलंगाना में अचीव कर पाएंगे फॉर बीजेपी, स्पेशली द सीट्स दैट यू आर गोइंग टू कंटेस्ट? माय फाइनल क्वेश्चन, तो आपको लग रहा है 10 सीट्स हो जाएगा?
ये 10 सीट तो 10 सीट से कम, एक सीट भी कम नहीं, 9 भी नहीं बोल रहा हूं मैं, 10 बोल रहा हूं, 10 के ऊपर ही रहता, लेकिन 10 के कम तो नहीं आता। 10 इज द बॉर्डर। मैं बोल रहा हूं ना साहब, ये 101% मैं चैलेंज कर रहा हूं, मेरे को कॉन्फिडेंस है। ये 10 सीट जीत के ही बताता हूँ, ये आप याद रख लिए दिन, ये वीडियो तो रहते, हम भी हमारा पास भी रहते, लेकिन मैं बोल रहा हूँ मैं 100% जीत जाते। 50 हमारा कॉन्स्टेंट, मेरा कॉन्स्टेंसी में मोर देन 50% वोट्स इन पार्लियामेंट वो आ जाएगा। 190 वोट पोल हुआ, 2,40,50,000 में 190 पोल हुआ। वो 190 में मैं बोल रहा हूँ 90,000 आते, 190 में 90,000,
आपको आते तो more than
90,000 के ऊपर ही आता, 50% के ऊपर ही आता,
50% के
ये
ऊपर
मोदी
आएंगे।
जी का फ्लेवर है, मोदी जी का यहाँ पे एक क्रेज ऐसा है। लेकिन पार्लियामेंट को अलग देखते हैं, ये साउथ इंडिया में
जी
क्या लोकल पार्टी की वजह से पार्लियामेंट को अलग देखते, ये विधानसभा का इलेक्शन में
इसको अलग देखते हैं। पर ये सर सिर्फ साउथ इंडिया में नहीं, सब जगह ऐसा ही दिख रहा है आजकल, ये कि पार्लियामेंट और लोकसभा विधानसभा में फर्क है। मेरा फाइनल क्वेश्चन, तेलंगाना में मोदी जी और बीजेपी के लिए सनातन धर्म या हिंदुत्व कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है और विकास डेवलपमेंट कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है, कौन सा फैक्टर ज्यादा है? फाइनल क्वेश्चन सर।
अभी ये अखंड भारत देश का हिंदुत्व देश बोल के बोलते, लेकिन किसी दूसरा कम्युनिटीज को कभी भी एक पल एक लफ्ज भी नहीं निकाला गलत लफ्ज मोदी जी ने। अब जितना भी वीडियो ले लीजिए प्राइम मिनिस्टर से, जब 2014 से अभी तक एक ही बात भी नहीं बोला। अगर बात बोले तो यूपी में योगी जी नहीं आता था। अब किसी को भी ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स में माइनॉरिटीज है, क्रिश्चियन माइनॉरिटी, वहां पे भी गवर्नमेंट आ गया। अभी हमारा हिंदुत्व के लिए हम बात करने में अलग है, दूसरा कम्युनिटी को गाली तकलीफ देना अलग है। हम हमारा घर को सिक्योरिटी कर रहे, लेकिन दूसरा घर को डिमोलिश नहीं कर रहे। अभी सबके साथ सबके विकास बोल के मोदी जी ने बोला, ये मोदी जी विकास को ज्यादा कंसंट्रेट कर रहे, इसलिए चेंजेस। एक बात मैं बोलता हूं, मेरा जीत में माइनॉरिटी कम से कम 35% वोट डाले हमारा जीत में। वो 35% वोट डाले, तकरीबन उसका 17,000 पोल हुआ।
क्या बात है।
इसमें 5,000-6,000 तक मेरे को डाला जी। उसका बूथ में सब लीड आया बीजेपी। इट इज अ न्यू ट्रेंड इन तेलंगाना।
Well, fantastic, sir. Congratulations. Savor the victory, and there is a lot of work still at hand. Continue to strive like you have. Wish you all the very, very best. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए। Thank you very much, वेंकटरमण रेड्डी जी। Thank you. नमस्ते।
Good evening. Welcome to this special edition of Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. It was billed as the semi-final before the final, and Mr. Modi and the BJP have comfortably won the semi-final 3-1. Particularly important are the wins, the 3 wins that the BJP has had in the Hindi heartland states, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chattisgarh. In 2 out of these 3 states, the BJP rode on anti-incumbency. It dislodged incumbent Congress governments there. In Madhya Pradesh, it overcame 20 years of incumbency and retained power with what is the second largest majority that it's seen in the last 20 years. It is clear that 2024, after yesterday's results, are pretty much a done deal for Modi. Has the India alliance failed even before the big test of 2024? And what worked in 2023 for Modi and the BJP? Will that get further accentuated in 2024? But first, the story so far.
आज हर गरीब कह रहा है वो खुद जीता है। इस चुनाव में देश को जातियों में बांटने की बहुत कोशिशें हुई। ऐसे लोग जो भ्रष्टाचार पर कड़ा प्रहार करने वाली जांच एजेंसी